Say hi, Abby. Yep. Daddy went to go get some food. Hi, everybody. Wendy here. Wendy and Dave here. Dave went out to the local grocery store to pick up Abby's meat for her puppy prep. So I thought I'd take a moment. It's been a little while since I've done a quick puppy prep video. We feed Abby raw and typically uncooked. However, I wanted to share today. I've got a squash here, and all I've got on here is cinnamon. And so this I'm going to bake in the oven for her, and I'm going to split this between probably the next two preparations. And usually the preps that we do last about 2 weeks. And I just wanted to share a little bit of what we were putting in today's prep. And, you know, it doesn't have to be super, super expensive to feed your dog raw. And if you're also buying like the fresh or, you know, homemade raw food, you know, by mail order, online, etc. We spend probably about $5 to maybe anywhere between $5 and $10 maybe a day on feeding her. And today I just wanted to show, you know, the simple things that I put in there. So I've got some frozen bananas, so I'm adding a banana. I've got some California blend left over. And of course, I buy fresh as often as possible, but I also keep frozen on hand. And I think a lot of times I prefer having the frozen on hand because it is flash frozen and it's easier for me to work with. And Dave cuts up all the meat, and then we add the vegetables, separate everything, and I'll show you the few steps along the way. But so I'm taking some things out to thaw just a little bit. And typically I'll just put this in just like it is. Abby weighs about 30 pounds. And she eats about, I think it's 20, I think she eats a total of 22 ounces total a day. And that's the meat and fruits and vegetables. And over here I'm just cutting up an apple. And then I'll weigh everything out and see what I need to make up for. So we've got it all balanced out and weighing everything in specific portions for her for the ratio of meat, vegetables, and fruits. So we keep it as simple as possible. She's excited for him to come back to show our love. So I just try to keep the simplest things on hand and rotate them so that she's always getting a really good variety of everything. And we have done other videos showing all the other supplements and things that we put in her food. So yeah, if you're interested in more information, just, you know, throw us a comment. Thanks for checking us out. And hopefully this gives you a little bit more inspiration, even if you're just adding it to your dog's diet and it's not a complete thing. That's okay too, because everything helps. Okay, Puppy Daddy Dave here. So what kind of meat we got for Abby today?
Pork, beef, and chicken.
Pork, beef, and chicken.
I'm working on the pork now.
Okay. So sometimes we'll put in beef liver, sometimes chicken liver, sometimes gizzards. That's usually about the variety.
Gizzards, yeah. Chicken gizzards.
Oh, gizzards also?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's...
Yep. Chicken thighs, chicken breasts.
So for about, I don't know, it takes us a couple of hours of prep, including the shopping and chopping, and then putting it all into the individual containers, mixing it up. But it lasts a couple of weeks, and... So, I mean, I guess if you count shopping time and, you know, the couple hours of prep time, and that kind of is a wash, I think, for a lot of people, unless, of course, you're just ordering it online. But even online ordering, you know, can be a bit time-consuming. But the point is that we know what she's eating. She's getting literally fresh food. It lasts a couple of weeks. It's, you know, pretty easy to take out the little containers out of the freezer, you know, and thaw them every couple of days. And we know what she's getting. So yeah, does it, does it compare to straight kibble? No, of course not. But between the cost of kibble and canned food and treats and things that we do give our dogs, because we're not necessarily giving them, the full nutrition. She really doesn't need treats, because she's so full and satisfied. And the treats that she really gets, which we've talked about before, really are almonds. She gets a few almonds a day, but not much beyond that, because she just doesn't need it. She doesn't require it, and she also gets fresh, raw, meaty bones, pretty much every week. So she has a really good balance of food and nutrients, and
we never know for sure what the supermarket's going to have.
Exactly. And that's why, too, I do the same thing with the frozen vegetables, to keep them on hand, because, if I don't have something fresh, or, never know what they're going to have.
I mean, this is all human food.
Human grade food. So yeah, it's not the least expensive way. It's not the most expensive way. We could probably, feed her even more expensive cuts of meat if we,
Absolutely.
But yeah, I mean.
And the prices of the meats vary.
They fluctuate
Beef
so much.
Prices have gone up a lot.
So then we'll mix in all of these together along with her veggie bowl here. So we'll mix all of that. And yeah, Dave puts it in containers.
It depends on what's on sale.
Right.
At the store.
And that is how we operate.
Sometimes the cheapest beef is sale, ribeye on sale, $6 a pound.
Yeah, sometimes that's the cheapest.
Sometimes we get it even less expensive. So she might get more beef that week or 2 weeks. So it's averaging, I guess, around $50 a week.
Okay. So that's not too bad then. I mean, as far as, per day.
But that's the total. So.
And I just can't imagine when I look at some of these other brands, fresh food brands that you order, like for a 30-pound dog. My gosh, it would cost us a fortune to feed her full time on that food.
And even if it wasn't raw food, the healthy dog food options are very expensive.
And she gets a good variety, and especially when fruits are in season, she gets a lot of good fruits then too. Melons, watermelon. She loves watermelon.
You get salmon sometimes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so sometimes they'll put out the little salmon fillets. Yeah, we buy sardines for her too. We'll put out they'll put out the salmon fillets for like $1.99 in clearance, for a salmon fillet, and then I'll fry that up for her and put it in the meat distribution, for the couple of weeks. So there's lots of ways to do raw feeding. This is just the way we do it. It works for us. So devoting a couple of hours and then, not needing to really worry about it for a couple of weeks, and just taking the container out, and one sandwich container is a full day's, that's her breakfast and her dinner. So yeah, every now and then I get the inspiration to make a video when we're doing our puppy prep, and, to inspire people, whether it's for spiritual reasons, health reasons. She's really healthy. I have never seen a dog with so much energy. She's never been sick so far. I mean, I know she's only 2.5, but yeah, she's amazing. Like a little Energizer bunny. But yeah, so I just wanted to take a few minutes to share with you our process and some of the ways that helps us better connect with her, the animal collective, the harmonization of the animal collective, and having done enough research ourselves on on dog food and kibble and so forth. It's just a choice that we have decided to make. And because we decided to make the choice, the means to do so appears. And I will say, when we got Abby, you weren't even working. Dave didn't even have a job. But if that shows you how manifestation of intention, that's how it works. Even though, we didn't know how we were going to afford it, but lo and behold, shortly thereafter, Dave landed a job. And, I would say, unless I'm exaggerating, probably the job of his dreams. I would say in many ways, if not all. So there you go. We really were living on the last of our savings and didn't know where it was coming from next, but we knew this is what we wanted to do. And maybe that's really part of the message here, is about the means will manifest when you're following your highest joy and intention from the highest places.
Well, we knew we didn't want to be feeding her chemical packets that were coming from questionable sources.
The chemical he's referring to the nutrient packages that go into commercial dog food to make it a balanced diet.
And she doesn't need sawdust because she eats sticks.
Exactly. And yes, sawdust is a regular ingredient in quite a bit of kibble, we found. So if that maybe helps inspire.
And sometimes human food too.
Well, that's a fact. Cellulose, guys, if you look at cellulose, if you see cellulose in packaged foods, it can be plant-based, but they can get away with calling it cellulose and it still be sawdust. That's because it's plant material. So how about that? Believe it or not. So it's all of these things that have guided us to go this direction, and of course the idea of when you're following your highest joy and excitement without any insistence on where the means was going to come from to be able to do this, it was knowing that it was going to present itself. So from our hearth and our home and our kitchen and our puppy to yours, we hope this inspires someone to not be afraid to be in harmony with your core vibrations, if this is how you're directed, and to know that the means and ability to do so will present itself.
And the point is, do the best you can.
Right. Do the best you can.
And for yourself as well. The best you can.
Yes, and Dave and I, of course, we follow that same rhythm and rhyme for our own food. So, okay. So, bye, Daddy Dave.
Have fun.
So if you guys have any questions about any of this, of course, leave us a comment. Just another day in the language of light.